Single phase midpoint cycloconverter with the RL load. We want to step down the frequency from 50 Hz to 25 Hz by using this circuit. As we know, frequency is proportional to the time. For 50 Hz, it has taken 2 pi radians. Then for 25 Hz, then if you calculate this, 4 pi, in which 0 to 2 pi is half cycle. From 0 to 2 pi, the thyristors P1 and P2 can conduct, and from 2 pi to 4 pi, N1, N2 thyristors can conduct. In this circuit, we have the load RL. So inductor is involved. We know the properties of an inductor. The inductor is not going to allow the instantaneous changes of the current. When voltage starts building, current starts building gradually. And when voltage becomes zero, current is not going to become zero. It will be zero after some delay. That delay denoted in waveforms with the beta. If pi plus alpha is more than beta, then it will lead to discontinuous load current. Else, pi plus alpha, if it is equals to beta, then we'll get the continuous load current. Two modes of operation due to an inductor involved in the load. First, let us see the discontinuous load current mode. In positive half cycle, A is having more potential than point P, then P1 and N2 are forward biased. In negative half cycle, P2 and N1 are forward biased. Now from 0 to pi, P1 is triggered at alpha. Then the current tries to build up along the path, it is A to P1 to C to the load to D. And at pi, the voltage reverses. Due to the inductor, the current still flows until beta, which is greater than pi. At alpha, the voltage starts and becomes 0 at pi. Still the current is flowing through the thyristor. There is a negative peak up to beta. Then the P1 comes to natural commutation and stops conducting. P1 is conducting. Now let us draw the current. As the voltage starts building, the current also starts building. It will reach the peak after the voltage reaches the peak and becomes 0 at beta. At pi plus alpha, there is negative half cycle in the supply where P2 and N1 are forward biased, and then P2 and turning on at pi plus alpha, and the current starts flowing to B, P2, C, load to D. The direction is from C to D in both the cases. So the load current is positive in both the cases. At 2 pi, voltage becomes 0, but due to the inductor, the current still tries to flow. Then we'll be getting a negative peak. Let us draw the current. We got the half cycle of the output as our new frequency 25 Hz at 2 pi plus alpha. In positive half cycle, we can turn on P1 and N2. Now I'm turning on N2. The current path is D to the load to the C to N2 to D. If you compare these two, here the current flowing from D to C, whereas the current flowing from C to D. This has taken as a positive, then this should be taken as a negative. Due to the inductor again, even the voltage becomes 0, the current is not going to become 0 and it will be extended to beta. Due to that, we will be getting a positive peak of the voltage. Let's try to draw the current for that N2. Now, at 3 pi plus alpha, I'm turning on the N1. The current path I from D2 load to the C to N1 to A. And again, it will be getting a negative peak after 4 pi. Let us draw the current for that N1. This cycle repeats after 4 pi. If you observe output current waveform between beta and pi plus alpha, pi plus beta and 2 pi plus alpha, 2 pi plus beta and 3 pi plus alpha, 3 pi plus beta and 4 pi plus alpha. There is a flat line of the current. This is our discontinuous load current. Now the continuous conduction mode. tension angle beta due to the inductor equals to pi plus alpha, or else as soon as the load current becomes 0, we are turning on the next thyristor. We know that in first positive half cycle, that will be between 0 to pi, P1 is triggered at the current path I, A to P1 to C to the load to D. For this is our alpha. Due to the inductor, we will be getting negative peak. This is beta. Between pi and 2 pi, P2 is triggered at pi plus alpha, which is equals to beta. Then the current starts flowing through B, P2, C, load to D. We'll be getting. So this is due to P1 and this is due to P2. Now let us draw the currents for this. I naught. After positive half cycle of the load between 2 pi and 3 pi, we can turn on N2 at 2 pi plus alpha, which equals to pi plus beta. Then the current tries to flow D2 load C N2 to B. And again we'll be getting a negative peak at here, and that is due to the inductor, remember, due to N2. And the current in between 3 pi and 4 pi. N1 is turned on at 3 pi plus alpha, which is equals to 2 pi plus beta. And the current I tries to flow between D, load, C, N1 and A. It's due to N1. Now, if you observe here, the current flowing continuously. So, this is continuous conduction of the load current, or continuous conduction mode of operation.